Welcome once again to another wonderful and interesting episode of Campus Snake Africa. And I'm CJAZZYB.
Okay, my name is Akiomi Olasho, 400 level nursing student of Babcock University. This is Campus Snake Africa. Watch and learn. Bye.
My name is Aziz Oluwatoyin Adiola, 400 level nursing student of Babcock University. Stay tuned to Campus Snake Africa.
Hi, my name is Dr. Michael Sanusi, Tri-State Heart and Vascular Center, Babcock University, Nigeria. You're watching Campus Snake Africa, great program, and I encourage you to watch it and invite your friends to watch it as well. Thank you.
My name is Odunaike Oluwatobi. I'm a medical student, 400 level. I had fun with Campus Snake Africa. Stay tuned.
My name is Ongza Chidera. I'm a 400 level medical student of Babcock University. Thank you, Campus Snake Africa, for featuring me, and keep watching and stay tuned.
I used to tell people that there is no university that have the kind of structure we are having. And of course, we are housing over 90% of our students. They eat in the cafeteria, which means every day we feed not less than 9,000 students. Not less than 9,000 students. And we make sure that we plan the menu so that they will be able to develop spiritually, physically, because when you eat junks, it may affect your academic life, your way of behaving. And so because of that, that unit take care of our students to see that they are properly cared for. Then sport and social, they plan programs for them. Those that are clubs, and they plan program for them so that the philosophy of the institution will be fulfilled. Because we believe that God has made us to be a whole being, and because of that, we need to develop our mental capacity, our physical capacity, our spiritual and moral capacity. And because of these things that will be able to help students to develop in this manner are put in place. Of course, the way we operate here is that when you are coming into the institution, we have what we call merit and demerit system. When you come in, you have 60-point merit, which makes you to be a well-recognized part of the institution. 60 points merit. If you do some certain things, you may be demerited 5 points, 10 points, but some go overboard. They may scoop all the 60-point merits, and they are demerited 60 points. And such people will go home, and there are some certain things you do, you go home. But when you are being demerited, when it gets to about 30 points or 40 points, your parents are, or either of them, is invited. Then we make them to know that this is what has been happening to your son, and they sign what we call behavioral contracts, and that has been helping our students. So some students come to me, they will say, the rules are too many. And I used to tell them that, look at this multitude. Look, you don't know what each of them is thinking. If we permit each student to behave the way he wants to behave, nobody will be able to stay here. And I used to tell them that Babcock University is a package. It is more than just having academic excellence. It's much more than that, because if you are academically sound and you are not morally sound, you can become a very very terrible instruments in the hand of Satan. So because of that, I used to let them know that because they will say, the rules are too many. These are, I tell them, Babcock is a package. You make your choice when you are coming in. If you don't want Babcock as a package, reject it. Don't even accept it. Don't come in. Therefore, you cannot choose for us. If you are coming in, we make you to understand this is how we behave. This is how we behave. If you don't like it, you can exit. You can reject. All right. And by God's grace, every reasonable student that wants to achieve, they have that conducive atmosphere to achieve. Because when they come back to collect certificate or whatever, I used to tell them, how is Babcock? Most of them will say, we didn't know what we were enjoying when we were in Babcock. Some of them will say Babcock has opened doors for me, and it is a reality. It is a reality, because sometimes you don't value what you have until you have lost it. So that's Babcock for you.
That's very high. You know, when you talk about the Babcock students and the global here, that would take me to something that a computer science graduate. You know, those days we talk about quick teller for DSTV transactions, quick teller. Now there's Paystack. I'm sure you might have heard of Paystack. Paystack actually was brought to the fore, invented actually by Babcock graduates. Two Babcock graduates, computer science graduates from Babcock University, are the ones that actually invented Paystack. And Paystack today has brought a lot of functionalities that you can't find on Quick Teller. Has reduced the time you need to process transactions, has done everything. These students, I'm telling you, went to Silicon Valley, got trained in Silicon Valley, even got support from the American government to start Paystack. And so that's just one of very many. We had last week also one of our graduates from computer science department who has moved from NTN, to Airtel, who is presently with Ericsson, doing so well. Who is CCIE? When I talk about CCIE, it's a Cisco certified internet network expert. Here is CCIE. Very few of them around Nigeria that have that, and this person is doing so well.
So let's start from there.
Okay.
As a student of this university before now.
I had my master's degree in Babcock, although my first degree was from Lagos State University, computer engineering. I had my master's degree in computer science in Babcock University and my PhD degree in computer science Babcock University too. So it's been a very wonderful experience being in Babcock. Yeah.
Your school days, your school time here at Babcock, what was it like?
Yeah, it was very good, I came from LASU, public system, coming here, a more organized system. Babcock is very well organized in terms of the lectures, in terms of the facilities available. There's internet access. You can easily do your assignments, for you that you want to really develop your potential. Babcock is a very good environment, and then a lot of good hands also. My professors in the department, Professor Wodele, Adekunle, they were all supportive. Professor Dowu and Kon, they really put in everything to actually help and push my...
So what would you say makes the computer section or computer department of this school different from every other?
Yeah. What is unique is that we have a lot of young professors, and then who are young at art. These are people that are research driven. In fact, many of those times early in my master days, they were the ones pushing us to do this research, do that. I wrote my first article in my master days, and now I have well over 26 articles I've published, which are internationally peer reviewed. So, but they actually put us through the rigor, through the crucibles. They made us know the importance, of writing, of publishing, and of course to do that, you have to do a lot of study too. You have to do a lot of background study into. So those things, at least I spent about 5-6 years in Babcock now, and it has been worthwhile. Coming here, a lot of things I've learned, in terms from these professors that have been in my department. They actually come to class and give us what is right. We go back, we study, we do assignments and all that, and that's really been very, very wonderful, very, very wonderful.
Now, how does it feel? You were once a student, now you are teaching the students in the university where you finished from. What does it feel like?
Yeah, it's good. It's just like I thank God for the opportunity. First of all, it's an opportunity. I was retained after my master's degree in Babcock. I did very well, and so after my master's degree, I was given a job as a lecturer. So I basically see them as my brothers. I see them as my younger ones, and so what I try to do is just to impart into them, and also to encourage them. If God can, bring me this far, He can also do that for you. So I teach them. I try to also make them learn the importance of hard work. The importance of avoiding the cutting corner syndrome, which a lot of young people are doing. Just want to do something fast and just get at. No, that doesn't pay. You know, there is no success achieved without a lot of hard work, without a lot of perseverance, without a lot of time and effort. So that I always try to bring in when I teach undergraduate students and when I interact with them. I always try to encourage them along this path. Yeah.
Well, you're a young man, and but the journey you have been on is a journey that looks like it's for an old person in this part of the world.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's talk about your research. Let's talk about the awards that you have been given internationally. Let's talk about
Okay, yeah. Talking about that, I'll attribute everything to God. First of all, you know, God has been very gracious. That's what I would say. God has been really nice to me. My primary school, when I finished primary school, I finished. At the time I graduated, I was enrolled on the honor roll of Lagos University Staff School as having the highest grade average ever at the point of graduation. That was 1993.
Wow.
So
Lagos State.
Yeah, Lagos State University Staff School, Ojo. So that was then my secondary school. I went to Command Day Secondary School, Ojo. In my GSS 3 WAEC, junior WAEC exam, I had all the distinctions, 11 distinctions from 11 subjects. After that, I went to university. I finished in the top 2% in Lagos State University in the year 2009. I was top 2% of their best graduates. And from there, I came to Babcock too. God has been so good. And my 2016, I was on my PhD. Then I won also a Jimovia National Scholarship Award given to the five most distinguished computer science students across Nigeria, the PhD level. And then this year, 2018 too, I was called from Lagos State University and presented the first recognition award for outstanding academic excellence ever given to any alumnus of Lagos University. But all that has been by God's grace. All this I've said, that has just been God all the way. It's not been me, but God has just been so good and gracious. And I thank God. Coming to a faith-based institution like Babcock University has also deepened my spirituality, has made me know, more about God and the importance of being in academics and working with God, because you can't do academics outside of God too. You need inspiration. When you say someone is writing an articles, you teach and all that, you need a lot of inspiration which comes from God. So that I've been able to learn more in Babcock. I've been deepened spiritually in Babcock, more like from a public system where it's secular school, So I've really learned a lot in Babcock University, and my relationship with God, I really cherish, and I thank God for how far He's brought me. So it's just been God all the way.
Now let's talk about the students that are being groomed presently. There's so much of unemployment in the world today. Where do you think Babcock comes in with the quality of education that's going on here?
Okay, that's very good. That's a very valid point you made. Every year, tens of thousands of graduates are churned out of Nigerian universities every year, and count the number of universities we have added to the private universities also coming up every year. So that tells you that the labor market is flooded. They can't take in everybody there. But where Babcock comes in is that in Babcock University, what is given is holistic education. First of all, the faith is integrated into learning, so students are taught well. In Babcock University, you would teach students with the state-of-the-art facilities, teach students with the recent technologies. They also take New Horizon courses to make sure all Babcock students, by the time they are graduating, they are IT compliant. You can't have a graduate of Babcock who can't use a computer. You can't see that. So they have this competitive edge. By virtue of the lecturers are devoted to their jobs, the lecturers that teach are always at the top of their game. Everybody puts in a lot to it. It's a private school. You can't say you have a class, you don't go for class. No. So you are policed. Everybody goes to class, and not just about going to class, but people are really devoted to take them like their younger ones, that they're children, and so that goes on into these children. So by the time they come out, any grade you come out from Babcock, we have our products doing so well and flying high. So Babcock University has a very high rate of growth, particularly in the labor market, not about the industry. Babcock University graduates are always special. They're always doing well, and whenever you test them on what they said they've learned, you can actually see it shows. There's that difference. Quality education is not so easy to come by. So that accounts for why it might be expensive. They say there's no free lunch anywhere. Quite all right, you have to pay for it. But the school ensures, by virtue of the administration, by virtue even of the past administration, they've put mechanisms in place to ensure that students get the best. So you actually get value for that money. Even for our medical program, Babcock University is the only university that has had the rate of development at the medical school. The way we got the accreditation for the medical school is the only university that has got it within that time. So Babcock University, we have graduated our second set of medical doctors now as I'm speaking to you, and these doctors are doing very well. They have professionals from all around the country. The best people in each field come to teach them. So they get value for the money, they get exposure, they go to India, they're favorite level and all that. So the same thing we try to put into every other programs. Accounting, for instance, Babcock University now, last year, the last accounting exam that was taken in 2017, Babcock University had about over 40 products that got chartered.
Wow.
These are people that have not gone for NYSC.
Wow.
You know, we had this arrangement in accounting, but after they are 400 level, then they take ICANN compulsorily. And out of that, we've had 41 or 42 graduates who are now having ICANN. They are chartered, they can go now to their NYSC. So the same thing now, ACC is also coming to accounting program. Talk about program. Computer science also, we have a lot of arrangements every time now and then. Now, even this week, Google will be coming to train our students, you know. They have all this exposure. We have some Google ambassadors among our students and all this helps them. So when they leave Babcock University, some of them decide to come back, you know, for the master because they know the quality. Some go abroad. But wherever they have, we have our products flying high everywhere. We had them everywhere in the world. Babcock University as a whole is, we call it God's own university. You know, you can see God in everything we do. Every day before work starts, only for lecturers, we have to, some of us have like having a 7 o'clock class now, so we don't participate in everyday prayer, like, but all other category of staff, they congregate in the morning, have a prayer session, and everything is in prayer. The vice chancellor prays for us every time we have gatherings. It's just one family. It's just, you can feel God around. So even our postgraduate school is developing so fast, undergraduate school is developing so fast, and we thank God. We always feel the presence of God every time in Babcock. It's a very wonderful place. I'm proud to be in Babcock. I always want to be here. You know what Babcock University also does is they want to pick the best from around everywhere. We've had professors even come from outside Nigeria who are now in Babcock University. In the medical college too, we have professors from UI and all that. They bring their wealth of experience here, and the idea is not really about, it's about one person, but the idea is that the students get the best. So whoever will give the best, Babcock is ready to bring that person, and then they also will give you everything you need to make sure your work is easy. You know, you won't say you lack this facility or you lack that. The school will go out of their way. Research efforts are wonderful. You know, we talk about what you call RIC, Research, Innovation and International Cooperation, headed by Professor Mrs. Tayo. That's a very wonderful organ of the university. That organ actually has been at the forefront of championing research efforts. You know, talk about grant proposals. Every month there's a research brief released, and in that research brief they have various course proposals from everywhere. You know, postdoc, you know, fellowships. They do everything. There's this training that was conducted last session called the STARS training. That's structured training for advanced researchers, also championed by Professor Mrs. Tayo. And she's doing a lot to ensure that research is appreciated, research is improved, and Babcock is doing so well. I'll tell you. Even now when you go on over the years, even many of the popular sites, when you go and download articles, you see a lot of Babcock professors who have published in the top rate journals of the world, and Babcock is always doing well, and we'll keep putting in our best.
I came here from Imo State University, and I've been here for about 7 years as the university librarian of this great university. As at the time I came, we were in a building that was not originally designed as a library, but we moved into this purpose-built accommodation in 2014. And it is known as Las Oti Memorial Library. And this is the main university library, and we have 7 branches, 7 branch libraries. We have a library in the College of Medicine. We have a library in the School of Law and Security Studies. We have a library in the Department of Nursing, Science and Technology, also political science, and education and humanities. But they don't roll parallel administration. They are all under the main library. Specifically, the main library seats about 520 users at full capacity. The university student population is about 10,000 plus. Now, if all of them come to use the library, definitely it will not take them. And that is why we have the branch libraries. The branch libraries decongest the main libraries, and they are located in their various host faculties and schools and colleges. We have various sections in the library. We have the circulation desk. That is the first port of call downstairs when you come. The security is also there. Now the circulation, that's where you do the charging of books, borrowing, lending, and when users return books, also take from them. Then downstairs also, you have the open stack. You see a row of shelves. Books are displayed according to their classes and disciplines. Then downstairs also, we have the technical services division. When books are acquired, they first of all go to that section for processing. You assign the class mark, you catalog, you put the spine label, and you give the accession number before you now send them to the shelves. That is why a library is different from a bookshop. In a bookshop, you don't do all of this. And downstairs also, we have a bindery. That bindery is one of the best in this country because it has a 26-inch cutting machine. I don't think some universities that have a lesser one, it has even grounded down. So before now, we used to send our books for binding, law reports also for binding to outside binders. They were wasting our time, and it is an unnecessary exposure of our materials. So about 2 years ago, the university graciously allowed us to acquire. Then this is the first floor that houses the IT. We have over 120 computers connected to the net and 30 tablets. The tablets are the smaller ones. And then we have the reference section. Books in the reference section are not for borrowing. We have the encyclopedias, Britannica, Americana, yearbooks, directories. You make quick reference and then drop them. But if there are areas you want, then we have a copy shop downstairs. This is to forestall mutilation and outright theft of our materials. Then the last floor, we have the postgraduate room and then staff. Postgraduate students, master's, PhD, you can't lump them alongside undergraduate. So they have their own room separately with over 25 computers connected to the net. And you know, the library is the image making department of the university, and this is true. If you want to know about a university, just visit the library. Whatever impression you have about the library, go home. That is the university. Because no university can ever rise above the status of her library. African proverb says, nobody will say the soup the mother cooked is not sweet. But if I may be honest with you, it's not me that said it, but various accreditation teams that came both for program accreditation have actually commended this library. You know, this is because we have, as I talk with you, as at January, we already had 2018 journals. This is not, you can't find this in most of the, in fact, where I came from, it's not always like that. Just last week, 18 people came from across the globe to accredit our programs. And they are white people. They were excited by what they saw. Last November, December, we had accreditation of 20 of our programs by the National Universities Commission. And they commended this library. They did. And without being immodest, as the librarian, I have about 35 years experience in the library sector. I can tell you that of all the places I have worked, Babcock Library is the place. In all humility.
Hi, my name is Wale Sawe and I'm an event and brand strategist, the way I call myself. But I run an event hostesses and ushering thing. Keep watching Campus Sneak Africa. This is the only program I know when you listen to, you're going to be motivated. Keep watching Campus Sneak Africa.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite boy, Ken to the Zio, Kenzo, aka Jabata Kunaiki Arambada Omasa, aka Titikeke, and you're watching me live on Campus Sneak Africa. Don't touch it, don't go nowhere, and keep supporting the brand Campus Sneak Africa and Kenzo. I love you all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ayola Oluwatosin Aziz. I'm the creative director for Lipic Studios International. Keep watching Campus Sneak Africa. Thank you.
Alright, my name is Don T. And guess what? You're watching Campus Sneak Africa. Campus Sneak Africa. The best show in the world! Now don't touch that dial. Now need someone asks you who said so. You just tell them. Don T said so. You're heard.
Hi, my name is Ada Wankwo. I'm a student of the University of Ibadan, 500 level, studying communications and language arts. I'm the CEO, Treswell Enterprises. I'm a Unilever ambassador. I make liquid soap, popularly called the Soap Girl. This is Campus Sneak Africa. Keep watching.
You are on to Campus Sneak Africa. Basically, Campus Sneak Africa is communicating with students in different universities in Africa, making them understand their dreams and how to communicate with people. My name is Abraham King Abe. Well, I'm the SRC President, Student Representative Council, also the President of MOTIC, Motivation to Inspire Change. So I want to tell you, keep watching, stay tuned. You're watching Campus Sneak Africa.
In my department, I have lecturers that don't just lecture, they teach, and in the course of teaching they also do this fatherly thing. So you feel comfortable, you can go to them after class, explain your personal and family challenges, and they take it up as if it's their responsibility. I'm speaking from personal experience now. And moving away from my department, we've also had I've had opportunities to be taught by lecturers from other departments too, and I think same goes for them. I want to say kudos to Babcock University for the kinds of lecturers they employ on this campus. I want to believe that it's not happenstance for all of them to exhibit the same character. I believe they actually work out for these things, and then probably they instill in them in the course of employing them.
When I did my little research on Babcock, and I was still trying to find my career path then, because I knew I was a creative person, but I didn't know how to put it inside a particular course. So when after that I finished looking for things in Babcock, and I saw mass comm, like departments in Babcock, and I saw mass communication. But due to the idea people have about mass communication, that time in my secondary school, my lecturers actually told me, my teacher actually told me not to go to mass comm. So that perception was like, this is the only thing I know that can relate to what I am as a person. Then I had to consult my mom. It was not like that I should go for public relation and advertising. In fact, I saw my passion, because I noticed that advertising wasn't just about creating ideas. It's also about if you have a passion for something, you make it happen. So with everything I saw, I was just like, okay, let me enter mass comm. Then I noticed that in 300 level in Babcock University, you major in public relation and advertising or broadcasting and journalism. So that was when, before I entered Babcock University, I had the mindset that I'll go for publication and advertising, and now I'm in 400 level studying publication and advertising. Wow. And so far so good. I've not made a bad decision. The teaching, when I did my IT, it was as if I was seeing my class inside the organization, to show you how good it was, because I had to go back and make reference to my book, so it to not be like, this person is not representing Babcock very well. You know, this kind of thing that you actually know what it is, but you also need to clarify. Yes. So that was the angle where I had to go back to my book and actually started seeing every single thing again. So that was what made me to now bounce back. When I started working with them in the advertising firm, when I did my IT, I was working, they took me as a full staff.
Wow.
To the extent that if they have like spillovers, like maybe they need to deliver at a deadline and everything, they might just tell people to just, anybody that can come cooperate with also on Saturdays, just come and they'll have fun, then you now work and everything. It not be like it's a corporate thing. When they do all those things, my creative director, because I worked in the creative department of the advertising agency, my creative director always calls me beside and tells me, Tony, I want you to come during the weekend. So out of all the IT students, based on because I was the only Babcock University student in the creative department, while there are others in other universities that are mass communication students. So, but he separated me and told me personally, meaning that he actually saw something in me. And as a Babcock University student, we had to strive to make our name be heard. So I didn't let him down by God's grace, and I knew that I delivered very well. So that was my experience, and so far so good. Fusing the teaching and the experience, it has made me a better person now, especially in the advertising agency.
So what are the things that you have achieved in the last 4 years that stand out on your journey ever since you started?
Whoa, Mass-Com, like I always say, is a multidisciplinary course, and I started developing myself from 200 level second semester. That doesn't mean that when I was in 100 level, I started doing IT all my summers, 100 level summer, 200 level summer, before my main summer, which was 300 level summer. So I was already used to the working environment, just that in different organizations. So far so good. I've really infused what I've gotten from my internship from the 3 different organizations I've worked in and practicalized it here in Babcock. Because there are some lecturers that will demand for a video. There was a time they told us to do an advert, a real advert. So they told us to do they pitched us as an advertising agency. That is the practical aspect that made me to go back to my book during the so all these things, the experience I've gotten, both the leadership experience, both the intellectual experience, and the craft. I am a cinematographer. Okay. I did videos, so and the craft and everything has made me stand out. He actually made me to stand out very well, to not just be a graduate, but a graduate that can also enter the entertainment world and make a difference.
Babcock students are raised in this place to become entrepreneurs. And some of the things that they do are fantastic. I will give you an example. There is a student here who read public health. That guy has fantastic communication skills. He sharpened his communication skills, and that guy today is one of the most foremost communication executives this country has. So it's an example of the type of innovation that we bring up. Now, medical students come to me. They say, sir, advise me. I want to do surgery. If I do surgery, do you think I should specialize again? So they are always thinking of the future, how they will impact this country, not many medical schools are able to do that. We train them to look for a job in other medical schools. In Babcock, we train them to be independent. We train them so that they can have a larger picture of life. Right. Now, about 6 weeks ago, the medical students held their health week. What did they do? They brought entrepreneurs from Nigeria, medical entrepreneurs from Nigeria, to come and talk to the students about the opportunities that exist outside, how they can set up their own, they didn't say practice, their own businesses, medical allied businesses, their own clinics, their own surgeries. Is it possible for them to be both university professors and also to be entrepreneurs? It's a breath of fresh air. Now, why do I say it's a breath of fresh air? The opportunities that exist in this country are enormous. 170 million people. It is a huge market. What we have not succeeded to do in this country is to train the minds of our people to understand that there are 5 things that drive growth. 1, financial. 2, natural resources. 3, produced resources. 4, human capital. 5, social capital. But what drives everything is human capital, and that is what Babcock is trying to do here. Babcock is trying to build human capital. Now, I will be accused of being a capitalist, and I say yes, I was brought up a capitalist. My father was a businessman, so I see most things from profit and loss. You see, my father sent me to medical school and invested so that I will get the MBBS, profit MBBS. And after the MBBS, he called me. What do you want to do? I want to do this. Not that. Aren't you going to invest in a business also? For many years, I thought the guy was joking. Only for me to understand that although I am a doctor, I have to invest my earnings also. That is what we are training our kids to be, to see a very broad perspective of life. 2, we are training them to see the world as a stage. Nigeria is not the only place where you can do your trade, but it is the platform you are going to use for your trade, whether local or international. Now, does that mean we are training them to be hard-nosed, profit-making people? No, you will be surprised at the number of charities that the medical students have. Those things make me excited about Babcock. Now, if I had a child, would I ask the child to come to Babcock? Yes. I'll give you an example. We had there was this banker in our church. The daughter was admitted for medicine here, but admitted for biochemistry in the University of Ibadan. So she called me. She said, "Prof, I need your advice. My daughter was taken for biochemistry in the University of Ibadan, but admitted for medicine in Babcock. Please, can you advise me?" I said, "You, a banker, you are asking me for advice. She is going to do a professional course in Babcock, then registered later on, and the certificates become secondary. It's a license that matters. And you, a banker, you want your daughter to read biochemistry instead of medicine." Then she now said another thing. The medicine, what about the quality of the medicine in Babcock? I said, "I teach in Babcock. What answer do you expect me to give? First class." So I'm proud of this institution. I'm proud to be associated with it. It's as simple and as straightforward as that. Now, I will tell you what impressed me about Babcock. It wasn't built by white men. It was built by a black man. They called the man Makinde. His vision is larger than life. Larger than life. I just could not believe it. I said, so black men too can do this type of a thing. Then they brought in this, our vice chancellor. He's what I call a stabilizer. You see, Makinde is like an evangelist. He goes pam, 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 pam. He just doesn't care. Just set it up. But the person we have now is what you call a stabilizing force. Okay, everybody, stay where you are, occupy. And that's what he's doing. Occupy, occupy, occupy. I don't want more people, just occupy. And you can now see that all those blazing things that Makinde has done, this man is stabilizing everything. Debts are being paid. Look, Babcock is one of the few institutions in this country where salaries are paid on time. Take that with you. So it just shows the managerial capacity that this vice chancellor has. And he doesn't give excuses. Now, but he says, if I pay you, then you must do your work. Simple as that. I love it. I love it.
I'm Andrea Eben. I'm German, working for the Ghana Skills Development Initiative, and you are watching Campus Sneak Africa. Keep on watching.
My name is Jeanette Burmester. I am greeting you from Ghana, Africa. I'm German, but I'm living in Accra since. I'm a fan of Campus Sneak Africa. Keep on watching.
Hello, my name is Elliot Leonard. I'm from the northeast of England and we're here in Nairobi. You are watching Campus Sneak Africa. Keep watching.
I'm Ollie, I'm from Germany and I'm visiting Kenya and you're watching Campus Sneak Africa. Keep on watching. See you soon.
Founding fathers of the universities have the belief that we can no longer continue to educate people in the old ways of doing things. And that's why right from day one we believe that we want to build a robust lawyer, a lawyer that will have knowledge of security, a lawyer that will have knowledge of administration, a lawyer that will be, that we also have a knowledge of arbitration and reconciliation, because not everything, there is a emphasis on the issue of litigation. We believe that there are a lot of things that we waste time and energy and money for in the court are better settled amicably, and it's a win-win approach to everybody. So that's why we expose them to all these additional courses, and our students have been doing very well. And in spite of the addition, even our performance at the law school has been very, very unique, and that's exactly what has been selling the brand even across the globe. Because for the year 2015 we came first, in year 2017 we also 16 we came first too. In the year 2017 we came third, globally out of the 45 law faculties that are in Nigeria. And not only that, it is on record that Babcock School of Law and Security has produced the highest number when you consider their age, number of first class in the law school, and that these are just attest to the fact that we are really preparing them for the future.
What are the things that contribute to this high level of performance by your students when they go out there? Because there are some things that contribute to this.
Yes, there are several perspectives. I will just mention briefly some of those things. I believe. Very first thing, law is a very disciplined, profession. Babcock right from day one has been a very disciplined environment. If you look at the Adventist educational philosophy, you find out that they're having about almost 127 universities across the globe. Apart from the local accreditation that NUC gives, we go beyond that to raise that standard, because we are looking at stuff from the perspective of from the global environment. So we subject, a couple of weeks ago, we subject ourselves to AAS accreditation, that's Adventist Association accreditation, which ordinarily we would have started up MS, LLM, PhD program. But we didn't, because we believe that apart from the local accreditation, we need international accreditation to attest to what we are doing here. And this has gone a long way to help the students. And apart from that, we have come to realize, based on our own experience in public universities, that one of the lacuna between the education in the the public university is the fact that it's just purely theory. But here, just last week, a crop of my students in intellectual property went to Abuja to see, they went to the Trade Commission to see things themselves, how it is being done, so that by the time they are out of this place, they will just start running. Nobody will start teaching them, because they have seen it. And tomorrow, today, as we are talking, a team led by one of my lecturers is on the way to Nimasa, in Lagos, to see exactly how shipping is, what ship is all about, what the law is all about, and to discuss with practitioners. I believe this has gone a long way in exposing our students and making them to be, to be well rounded up in the industry.
I'm adding the security part to the law courses. What were the things that were introduced to make this a success?
Yeah, if you look at law per se, in law the focus is always what is the law, what's the position, what are decided cases and everything. We are looking at it from the perspective of law philosophers like Ross Coupon, that for a law to have meaning, it must be able to touch and meet the need of the society. So we now look at it that security is becoming a serious challenge. And we want to expose our students to it that, in addition of knowing what the law is, they should be able to know exactly those things that can lead to security breaches. They should be able to know exactly how to tackle security breaches. And apart from that, apart from the direct security, there are insecurity that arises from documentation. You understand? They will not be committing the company wrongly, they will not be committing the nation wrongly, because some of the things that has happened to this nation that leads to security breaches are because of lack of understanding. Even the Bible says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. So we believe the knowledge and the exposure has gone a long way for them to be able to appreciate that law in itself will be meaningless if it is not, if order, peace and order is not reigning in an environment. So it has provided an opportunity for them to have first-hand knowledge on how security matters should be handled, and the documentation that are required, and also the responses that are required. If you look at some of our security breaches, is predominantly lack of precise information. We are very lucky indeed. We started with one of the best hands that you can ever see in this country, named like Professor Agbede, who has been teaching for the past 50-something years. Then experts that are notable in the area. People like Professor Shodipo, who is a renowned IP man. Then we also, in addition, people like myself, my humble self, who has spent close to 30-something, directing banking education in Nigeria. So some of us are there, and apart from that, we did not limit our hunting for lecturers to local setting. We look at it, we have people who studied in Georgia, people studied in University of Kent, people studied in all these people. It is the conglomeration of all these factors that has helped us in building a very unique university of international standards.
Okay, my name is Akiomi Olasho, 400 level nursing student of Babcock University. This is Campus SNIC Africa. Watch and learn. Bye.
My name is Aziz Oluwatoyin Adiola, 400 level nursing student of Babcock University. Stay tuned to Campus SNIC Africa.
Hi, my name is Dr. Michael Sanusi, Tri-State Heart and Vascular Center, Babcock University, Nigeria. You're watching Campus SNIC Africa. Great program, and I encourage you to watch it and invite your friends to watch it as well. Thank you.
My name is Odunaike Toby. I'm a medical student, 400 level. I had fun with Campus SNIC Africa. Stay tuned.
My name is Ong Zachidera. I'm a foreign level medical student of Babcock University. Thank you, Campus Sneak Africa, for featuring me, and keep watching and stay tuned.
Babcock University it seemed like the place that would keep me grounded. It seemed like a place that would support my Christianity and things like that. It was my choice because out of every other thing, it just seemed like the best.
Wow, what course are you in?
Business administration.
Why did you do business administration?
I did business administration because I am an entrepreneur. So, and I needed, you have to have a great support what you're doing. So I thought business administration was the best choice for me as a young entrepreneur.
Wow. What's your big dream when you leave school?
Well, my big dream when I leave school is to own my own Fortune 500 business, like to be making 6 figures, wake up richer than every single day, make Bill Gates feel jealous.
Wow.
Yes.
And how has Babcock University prepared you for that dream?
Babcock University has prepared me for that dream because it's very, very grounded and rules, and when you get out there, like I've done a lot of internships and things like that, you notice that you can't just do whatever you want and you can't just be whatever you want. You have to follow the rules and the way it is.
The students of the university have distinguished themselves in various disciplines, whether in sports, in academics, social activities, entrepreneurship. In law, for instance, they've won different laurels. In accounting, they've done very well. In medicine, well, we are a force to reckon with. In research, it's such a wonderful thing to say about the institution. And so we've come of age, but we haven't reached our destination yet. We are still moving. And God has always been on our side, and that is why we are never scared of any challenge. We consistently retool our strategies to ensure that they are in tandem with the demands of the modern times. Technologically, yes, we are there. We try as much as possible to keep pace with modernity, but we do not wait for change to come. We work proactively. We look ahead. We work faster than our peers. Although we may say that we are not competing with anybody, but then we have a benchmark. Our benchmark is to be an international player, a global player in the education industry. And we are getting there, which was why 3 times consecutively we won the Brand of the Year Award 2015, 2016 and 2017. And this award was given not by local awards institution or given body, but an international award far away in UK, United Kingdom, Kensington Palace. So we won that repeatedly in the education sector. That means the only university in the whole of West Africa that is so recognized internationally as a formidable brand. So those are some of the things that we have achieved as an institution. Babcock University is an incredible institution. It's one place that everyone who desires the best of education would like to come in to study. It's a place that is peaceful. It has a very conducive environment, very distinguished scholars, eminent personalities, very great minds in different disciplines who are here training the leaders of tomorrow. And so I charge every one of you who needs quality education to come to Babcock and see what we have here to offer you. In terms of academics, we have lecturers who have distinguished themselves in various disciplines. These are people that can mentor you. These are people who have contributed tremendously in areas of research. We have the required facilities. We are a technologically driven institution. Our classrooms are smart classrooms. There are computer sets. Each student has a computer set that he works with. We have infrastructural facilities. that enables you to excel. Our stadium, for instance, is a first-class stadium for sporting activities. Accommodation, yes, accommodation, we have accommodation. Our students are about 99% resident on campus. Accommodation are in 3 categories. We have premium, we have classic, and we have regular. So whichever you choose is what you get. Our students enjoy collaborations with other students across the globe. And because of the partnership that the university has with other universities, across the world. And so they travel from time to time to network. They travel from time to time to study. They travel from time to time to make sure that they are adequately trained, because traveling is also part of training, it's also part of learning, it's also part of education. So we encourage it, but it has to be intertwined with their academic curriculum. So we do that. So those are some of the things that make Babcock University, an extraordinary place, to studying, to learning, and then you become a star.
Well, I've come to the end of a wonderful episode of Campus Sneak Africa here today at the Babcock University, and I'm sure that you are soaked with so much information and knowledge that has been turned out from this episode. I know you are soaked as much as I am soaked, and I want to say a big thank you to Seventh-day Adventist Church by planting this kind of university here in this kind of place. Doing this kind of great work with so much great facility and state-of-the-art structures and manpower that is here. So thank you so much for what you are doing. And for me, until I see you another wonderful and interesting episode of Campus Sneak Africa, for your email, send your emails to campussneakafrica@lovewhatsat.org and repeat campussneakafrica@lovewhatsat.org. And until then, peace, and I'm out of here.